I could hear a song. The framework of Mari's assembling world illuminated our battlefield. Her soul did not know the concept of battle. As such, I would take on the role of an executioner of the old world. I felt that to be the duty most fitting for the nature of my being. Holy shit, that's a fucking cool form now. As I had finally penetrated the very core of my soul. Looks freaking amazing, man! As an Achten and Rebecca created by them. I would transcend my role, the confines of my existence. I would return to the world of the living as a man. I would reclaim the ephemeral moment I'd longed for since ages past. The essence of my emanating craving had not changed, yet my heart, having sworn to eradicate all aberrations with this battle, including myself, appeared to give birth to something new. Or perhaps this was my true form? The embodiment of my deepest passion, the ephemeral moment. A prison of time that forced all the cosmos to a halt. My blades now acted as the hands of a clock representing the universe itself. And I think finally the blades are not merged with his hands, but are actually the weapons. Like, separate, cool. And with that the newly attained godhood I would. Seriously, this looks so good. I didn't need any power born for their convenience alone. They could have it back for all I care. There'd be no new world for me as long as the poison of mercury still coursed through my veins. Isn't it right, Shiro? Comrade? I would rinse their curse from my flesh and attain my true self. For only beyond that threshold lay my future with her. The roar from the bottom of my soul reverberated across the cosmos, shaking the throne to its foundations as it reached the two grand pillars, gold and mercury. Reinhardt paused for a moment, directing his eyes, now sparkling almost blinding gold, towards the man he called friend. Mercurius rejected the notion without a second's delay, giving us a blood-curdling look from atop his throne before continuing in an exasperated tone. While he addressed us with his usual loftiness and mock courtesy, I could tell he had been slowly undergoing a gradual change. Or rather, he was returning to his true self. It sounded almost as if he was relaying someone else's will, an odd performance, but in no way incoherent with his being. Both Reinhardt and I understood this phenomenon. He, the all-father and master of all existence, was coming out of his shell. Not Karl Luft, not Cagliostro or Saint-Germain, not Paracelsus, but he, the origin and embodiment of the world of foreknowledge. A two-headed serpent, whose name had been long lost to the aeons, gradually called forth from the shadow enveloping the cosmos, following a mercury-laden trail. This supreme being
かというのに、私はお前たちが苦しく愛しい。
Good.
愛わしく腹立たしく、ああ冗談ではない。だがたたえよう我が子らよ。この時こそ私はずっと待っていたと、そう感じる魂にも嫌はない。
That's awesome. A craving built on contradiction, he lamented his failure by celebrating the advent of his long-awaited apoptosis. Reinhardt was to him what Shiro was to me. Now that they faced each other on equal grounds, the mercurial snake would walk the path of to destruction, regretting the outcome with jubilation. This was one law not even he could resist. In other words,
お前は積んでる。自覚しろ。
it would put this ludicrous opera to an end.
英語回帰の終焉だ。しかり、その基地感は枯渇している。迷惑だ。今こそ幕を引くとしよう。
Even the void filling the space trembled in fear at the sight of Longinus. The throne itself had been freezing under the influence of the executioner's blades. The destiny of the universe would be decided here and now.
違うな。これは始まりだ。新たな世界への幕開けとなる。故にお前たちはもういらん。これより先は女神の一人舞台でなくてはならぬから、用済みの役者には退場願おう。それが私の座の意志と知れ。
Killing intent, bloodlust, the core of the universe sentenced us to death with such ferocity that very cosmos felt its overwhelming ripples. Any other man would have been vaporized by its force, their souls reduced to nothingness in the blink of an eye. But what of it?
もうこれ以上お前の手玉になるつもりはないんだよ。
Our goals coincided, in the sense that we both wished for Mari's world. However, there was one core element that set our paths apart. To him, everyone save for Mari was secondary. He saw the difference between Himuro and that speck of dust. I couldn't allow him to hold control over the throne at the dawn of the new world. I'd take his conductor's baton and snap it in half. The bastard had no business meddling in our future.
ついさっき前まではそうするしかないのかと内心軸地たるものがあったけどな。そこはお前と同じで連れに恵まれてたから助かったよ。ああ、実際そのことだけは感謝している。
I had no shortage of friends who wished to murder the mercury inside me, and in that sense my current actions were without doubt those of a person intending to commit suicide. Which was why they had meaning.
俺の本当の名前が何なのかまだそれはわからないけど。
I was certain I would discover it at the end of this battle. I would finally be able to face the one I loved as my true self.
お前を倒せばその部分だけが絶対に残る。水銀の自滅衝動は人であった俺には関係ないものだから。
I had never been a grand enough being to be worthy of the throne. Unlike the purebloods like these bastards and Mari, I was a mongrel. With the death of my father and the end of his influence, I would lose my godhood. As I realized that, there was but one thing left for me to do. My sole objective had always been to return to my ordinary life. And that hadn't changed this entire time. I believe in it with all my heart.
一緒に消してやるよ。お前とお前からもらったこの力を。ようやく K が同じところに降りてきたと感じる。
Reinhardt let out a joyful snort in response to my spiel. He too had his excitement hit the ultimate threshold as he gazed up at the Mercurius.
いつも影のように K はいた。一歩下がって私を立て、しかしその実追従していたのはどちらの方か今や考えるまでもない。高原は遥か上、見上げる、挑む、皆初めてのことだ。感謝しよう我が友よ。そして K もことここに至ってはもはや代替などと呼べないな。 K は K だと私と友の工場に割って入るななどと言いはせぬ。むしろ より華々しき戦となった事態を嬉しく思うぞ。もとより、この身は無限の闘争を望む者。私は全てを愛している。ゆえ、もろともに壊してやろう。来るがいい。言われなくても。
Ripples of godhood and the genuine lust for battlefield the singularity in a surging torrent of unchained cravings. Their waves raged, swelled, and ultimately erupted. And thus the curtains opened on a climatic final battle. The initial assault came thundering down from the Golden Beast, the most ferocious and most aggressive of the three. Reinhardt's divine luster raged, eager to drain the very heavens to its dominion. His love, destructive and cataclysmic, surged forth into the singularity. His love burned fierce and true, ravaging the stars, leaving ruination in its wake. Such was the locus of his one and sole desire, his soul awash in its colors, intent on painting the universe anew, for his was the splendor of the supreme monarch, violent, furious, like hellfire incarnate, an affection of love in its most untainted and purest form. In light of the troubled battle at hand, the funeral ode to the world, governed by foreknowledge, sung to determine the new heir to the throne. This development should have hardly elicited surprise, and yet, wouldn't a statement that negated the unexpected in turn ring ever so unnaturally in a struggle that should have been so beyond mortal comprehension? But perhaps one could allow themselves a wordplay of sorts and argue that the reverse of reverse birthed to obverse. The absolute half of all and everything was purity itself, and as such, its summit was unfit to be adorned with redundancy. As cliché and threadbare a plate would lead to, that alone was true to the apex of existence. Reinhardt was a terror to behold. That was all that mattered, and all who occupied this space knew the indisputable truth of it. Okay, who do we have here? To Valkyrie, the Hellfire Girl, there is Spinne, there is Machina, there is Kay. Or, wait, why is Kay holding a spear for? Never mind. Wolfgang is here, there is freaking Vampire. Wait, or maybe I'm wrong, because I think there's a head of Rusalka down below. Maybe Kay is here as well. So who the hell is that person then? That wouldn't be... Wait, no. Okay, Kay is not below. It's probably Lisa. Okay, never mind. As such, while the other two demigods regarded his hegemony in reverence, neither showed even the faintest hint of surprise, for they felt the all-encompassing charge of Reinhardt's legion. Its armies rose from the abyss very core, to have been inevitable as the first move to launch their cosmos-shattering conflict. Yeah, that's Lisa. It's funny how they look not really like they would look normally, but by some kind of dolls, basically. Indeed, every fiber of his being was now called forth onto the field of battle, rapturous out his soul in repulse as he, for the first time in his life, felt the catharsis of having attained his long-coveted freedom. Unable to hold back, the Golden Beast was utterly and completely unconcerned with his mind, flesh and immortal soul crumbling beneath such a crippling release of power.
Oh, 身が震える、魂が叫ぶ。これが歓喜か。これが恐怖か。私は今生きている。思考の点はここにあり。
Not the shred of his being doubted that this was his long-coveted deliverance from that accursed earthly bondage, even if it led his body and soul down a path of ruination. The first attack had annihilated a large part of the foreknown world's matrix, and feat of this magnitude should have been impossible from a physical perspective even for Reinhardt. Glass game costed several million Enheriar, their morale and experience in battle peerless across the cosmos. Isaac could tremble in elation at the prospect of granting his father's wish, as well as the countless fangs waiting in anticipation to exact their vengeance upon Mercury for shackling them with their accursed fates. Reinhardt had already become a certain form of microcosm by himself. He would have labeled his feat as the manifestation of his love and condemned Mercury's lack of passion for having sustained serious damage. But this outcome could not have been explained solely by emotion.
全くもってどしがたい。我ながら呆れ果ててしまいそうだよ。
The beast was the living apotheosis of the throne. He evolved with each second spent in the presence of its master, embodying ungodly power. Otherwise not even Reinhardt could have been able to hurt the serpent. For the legion of the foreknown world was too huge, containing all the mortal souls from the days of creation. The serpent did indeed once acknowledge that quality outweighed quantity, and worshipped the goddess as the most supreme existence in the world. However, the opposite was also true. If robust enough, quantity could overwhelm quality. Millions? Wonderful. That was indeed an Olympian number for one born as man. However, in the presence of the modded Hall of Mercury, it hardly amounted to a speck of dust. Thus, the fact that Reinhardt still delivered a crippling blow to the foreknown world of the Serpent stood testament his fate as the chosen destroyer of the Old Order. At the same time, it meant the greatest of his powers would only manifest as he clashed with the destined foe. He could not channel his godhood against the young man. The ephemeral moment, despite being lighter than Mercury by a margin, shrugged off Reinhardt's sack and instead moved in for a counter. Under normal circumstances, Reinhardt's power would have manifested equally against Mercury's care, yet in this moment of time he had ceased to regard the two as of the same kind, choosing to instead view them as two separate divinities. It was the manifestation of his gratitude and respect, a form of love towards the adversary who had shown him the path towards the very pinnacle of existence. His prideful war lust was as immutable as the luster of gold. It would go against his sense of aesthetics to change his perception of the young boy, to bolster his powers. If anything, such a notion would never even cross his mind. As such, he fought less. Unleashing of power left him completely open for a counterattack, for this was not a duel but a battle royal where a single misstep could reshape the entire modality of the conflict, a clash of the three grand ambitions. The Executioner's blades were the universe of strife, turning 5 companies of the beasts and Herard to ash in an instant. Realizing his mistake, Reinhardt instantly shifted defense, but it was all too late. Horror, for he was at odds with the universe of the ephemeral moment. Not even God himself was a match for the speed of time itself. Yet in that moment Reinhardt believed to be fatal. The stars of the foreknown world condensed, swinging to blaze the orbs of divine conflagration, and exploded, tearing the very sky apart. Supernova, a searing wave of condensed annihilation swept across the cosmos in less than a fraction of a second, swallowing the two in scorching flames tens of times more potent than those of the Crimson Nightness. It was nowhere ephemeral moments turned to sustain a crippling wound. And Gold was not one to miss such an opening. His defense, not unlike his offense, excelled against the Serpent. Left comparatively unscathed by the explosion, he shifted his lance and launched a thrust of annihilation to retain the favor. His lance pierced the cosmos, scorching even his own soul in its wake. The Serpent exhaled a gasp of admiration. You just did, but whatever. The ephemeral moment, able to bend even the speed of light to his will, parried the deadly attack with a howl.
先を全く見てない奴に俺は負けない。そんな奴に勝利は来ない。お前たちはどれだけ強くても生産性がかけらもないんだ。俺も人のことは言えないが、だからこそここで全てを生産したいと望んでいる。そんなざまで。
He pointed his blade of condemnation at Gold.
お前、何をなせるっていうつもりだ。無論。
Reinhardt turned the younger man's gaze, not wavering in the slightest.
全てを愛す。それのみ。
And with that, he shifted his legion to the offensive once again. How savagely bold and beautiful, and so foolish, so beyond saving. With each attack, God slipped deeper into the cravings of annihilation, but not only because his body couldn't withstand his own overwhelming prowess. It was far simpler than that, an absolute law dictating that a cancer cell could not outlive its host. In other words, Reinhardt was dying alongside Mercurius. Regardless of how their battle concluded, the beast was unlikely to survive. And he himself understood his fate better than anyone. The goddess failed to comprehend what could have driven him to that extent, her chest nearly bursting from grievous pain. Why did he welcome destruction with such joy? There were as many forms to happiness as there were people. She understood that much, yet she failed to understand the path walked by gold. Would Shiro understand? Would he, who held the same nature, empathize with Gold's feelings? Or could this be, in truth, a colossally exaggerated manifestation of that childish passion that all men possessed? Ren said all those things to condemn him, but Mari could sense a certain tint of wistfulness and understanding in his tone. Was he sad because the man reminded him of Shiro? Was he irritated because he saw a hint of himself in the being? Mari did not think that the law of apoptosis was all that constituted Reinhardt and his philosophy. Reinhardt, Cagliostro, having cast aside the fear to be misunderstood, there was indeed no better word to describe them there, for they all burned like stars upon the night sky. Their way of being kindled an ember, nay a blaze, within her heart a desire to embrace them. She couldn't deny feeling anger aimed at the two pillars who had orchestrated much of the misery that befell her loved ones. To say she was completely without resentment would have been a lie. And yet she could not find it in herself to hate them. Apparently she did not possess the emotion. And Ren was not a person to fight out of anger and hate either. After all, that was why she fell in love with him, and why she wished to embrace his future above all else, despite tearfully knowledge that he would spend that future at the side of another woman. There was indeed a part of her that would rather sulk than help them build a future so ignorant of her affections, but happiness still scorched the margin of her being. Words alone would fail to express the sheer gratitude Mari felt towards the man who gave her a heart, who gifted her with feelings. In the end, that was what it came down to. Marguerite's royal love expanded to all that she had received during the course of this opera. Good and evil, sorrow and joy, all that had come to pass constituted her current self, to those that were forced to dance to the whims of Cagliostro's script. This notion might have been the most infuriating thing in the world, but I like that feeling. Go ahead.
愛しいすべて、私は永遠に見守りたい。あなたのことも。
She slowly reached out towards the maelstrom of godhood raging in the center of the singularity. The god would destroy himself at the conclusion of this battle, an unavoidable fate for certain, yet Mari wondered if it was truly a fitting one.
なぜなら
He was like Ren, a mixed breed of sorts. Unlike Cagliostro and Mari, once his godhood crumbled, his mortal soul would still remain. Would it be unwise to embrace it like all the rest? She did not believe such an act to be one of betrayal. After all, Ren himself said he had his eyes on the future.
ねえ、そうでしょ。
Was the purest form of friendship truly that of mutual destruction?
そんな悲しいこと言わないで。
She extended her arms with that one wish in her heart.
愚問、Kにはわからぬ。女の出る幕ではない。
The healthy blood brushed her hand off with firmness, yet not without the grace of one who knew how to treat a lady.
私の愛は破壊である。故にそれしか知らぬし、それしかできぬ。そしてそれこそ我が波動なり。
He had no need for a woman's sympathy. Normally, one would interpret such behavior as childish bravado, but in his case alone, it was the genuine manifestation of his will. There was not a shred of doubt in his words. Reinhard Heydrich had chosen his path with absolute conviction and pride.
土台戦争、単体では成立せぬ概念よ。ならばこそ敵を求めるゆえに部下を愛し率いて壊すのみ。私の楽土は鉄風雷下の三千世界だ。ここにまみえた友らを抱こう。砕け散るほどに愛させてくれ。なあカールよ、刹那よ。こんなものでは終わらぬよな。そうだろう。
The golden radiance of the lance grew even brighter as the beast allowed his innermost desire to take the form of an unrestrained whole.
共にこの宇宙で歌い上げよう。大いなる祝福を。フロエバイナハテン。しかり、これほど心躍る宴はない。アクタエスとハーブラ。
The supernova and the light of absolute destruction clashed, their godhoods melting into an explosion of mutual synergy transcending to infinity. As such, the ephemeral moment, left behind in this race of evolution, found itself at a great disadvantage. The interminable netherworld could not keep up with the strong eternal occurrence and boundless destruction. And in this clash of the three grand ambitions, Tarkane the weakest one first was all but inevitable. The two were in perfect synchronization, an manifestation of the relationship, as they unleashed their godhoods to eradicate the cosmos of interminability. The stars of the foreknown world aligned to the grand cross that extended along the entire multiverse. A tsunami of gravitational pull that caused the blood of everyone in his vicinity to reach boiling point in the blink of an eye. A mortal man, no, even a demigod, would have exploded from the inside right there and there, to say nothing of the incessant fire from Gladsheim's Panzer Grenadiers. The overwhelming tyranny of violence forced Mark to divert her attention and start towards the young man. He fought to regain his old self, to allow the goddess to inherit the role, yet still she couldn't stop herself. She struggled to reach her end, regardless how much help she could actually provide the young man, yet moments before she could. He gently pushed her away.
君には君にしかできないことがあるだろう。俺は平気だよ。負けやしない。
A regular grand cross might have disturbed the waves of the surface of the earth, but this thing in the sky was a billion magnitudes larger in size. There was no way he could have been alright after being exposed to that. His entire body had been covered in lacerations, with bloody smoke emerging from the slits of his wounds.
あなたはいつも痩せ我慢。
He would keep going on about how he was fine, but even Mari, despite being fundamentally different from mortals, could pick up on his lies.
なんだ、俺のこと信じてないの?
And she hated him for using unfair words like that, almost as much as she loved him. He really was an infuriating man to the core. What would he do if his bravado ended up making her change her mind?
だから本当に心配いらない。俺だって証拠にもなく、からいじ張ってるわけじゃないし。そういうの、良くないってことくらい学習したから。
He made a faint smile.
根拠はあるのさ。俺は負けない。あ、だってそうだろ。
Mari comprehended the meaning of his abstruse words in an instant.
レン、まさか。
そうだよ。
And in that moment,
さあどうした？ここで落ちるか？ならば解く光となれ！
the opportunity came as if it had been planned in advance.
我は終焉を望む者、死の極点を目指す者。唯一無二の終わりこそを求めるゆえに、鋼の愚道に曇りなし。
Annihilation, eradication, the end. The very steel that encompassed the highest destructive power in the cosmos now manifested on the stage.
そうだ。お前を待っていた。
I remembered our promise, the wish he entrusted me with. As such, it was time for me to fulfill it.
名前を呼んでくれって言ったよな。心配するな。思い出したぜ。
砕け散るがいい。見すがれず、ボルセンユサガ。
His all-ending fist crashed into my palm. Under normal circumstances, it would have shattered my very soul to pieces, but not this time, after all.
来い、ミハエル。
He had entrusted his hand to my ephemeral moment. And of course, this wouldn't be the end of it.
シロ、お前もだ。帰ってこい。
A tremor of unprecedented magnitude ran across the whole of Gladsheim.
どうしたんだい？彼が呼んでる。行かないのか？
A rigorous clash of a multitude of individual words, akin to a cosmic tug of war, commenced within the microcosm of absolute destruction. During a split second that the hegemonic world wavered, the stronger souls momentarily regained their consciousness.
いろいろと罰が悪いのもあるんだろうが、そこまで意固地にならなくてもいいだろう。僕も一緒に謝ってあげるから。さあほら。
Isn't that Tubal Cain?
でも
Oh, that's Kay, right?
でもじゃない。
Oh, Valkyria! Patrice!
まったく昔は可愛い子だったのに面倒な性格になっちゃったのね。それも私たちのせいなのかな。もういい加減素直になったら。これからはずっと一緒にいてあげるからね。
ああ、それは絶対約束する。
The hand of salvation she had dreamed of all her life had now descended before her, washing clean away all her sins and doubts. Tears came welling in her eyes. She felt like a child again.
そういうことです。ビッテンブルグ少佐。私は行かせていただきます。たとえ道を違えても、あなたのことは忘れません。またいつかどこかで会えると信じています。ジークハイル。そうね。きっとまたいつか。イザーク、あなたがそこを選ぶなら何も言わない。私に何かを言う権利も資格もないのだし、あなたはあなたの道を行きなさい。ただレアに言われたことを忘れないで。そして私も愛しているわ。
まあ今さら私が言ったところで何の役にも立たないでしょう。
Divine Weasel! Trifa! Valeria Trifa!
テレジアの未来とその結末を見届けるためにもこちらに属すのは当然のことでしょうね。
まあ正直あなたについては今でも私かなりムカついてるんですけどね。
同じく。だが、それもせんないことだよ。新世界に古い因縁をいつまでも引っ張り続けるわけにはいかない。
私は
Rusalka! But as the last two of the group slowly raised her hand.
だー、うるせえ。どいつもこいつもぐちぐちぐちぐち。これだからジジイとババアはまったくよ。
私はそんな年じゃないでしょ。
ちなみに僕もそうなんだが。
私はどんな感じ？ダメでしょ。
え
さすがにそれは。
ちょっとカイ。
とにかく。
He cut the other short, but his characteristically laid-back smile never once left his lips. Almost as if to say he was proud to be part of this. He no longer felt for knowledge.
かすみもエリーもどいつもこいつもみんなまとめて面倒見てくれるっつうからついていこうや。でないと真っ先に言ったあのむっつりと俺らの大将がホモ祭り始めちまうぜ。
Yeah, I agree.
だったら
In reality, their conversation took but a fraction of a millisecond.
一丁派手に最後の花火をあげようじゃねえか
I like this. I like this text because it's so Sengoku Batara. You know, the iPad guy used to say that. I don't remember his name for. Anywho, they all felt the ephemeral as their true beacon of light. It was Gold who ended up blasted away by the resulting explosion, but that was the least of his troubles. Holy shit, this is so good! In that moment of contact, a whole group of Vanquerar that constituted the very core of glass came defected to the other side.
どうよ相棒俺って相変わらずいい仕事するだろああまた随分とこのバカは予想以上にごっそり連れてきてくれたじゃないか
Legion, the power to bind other souls under one's command. Reinhardt used that very same method to build his army of Vanquerar. Subjugation versus friendship. Slavery versus cooperation. There might have been a difference in their approaches, but both of them could absorb and fuse the souls of others with artificial godhood.
まあそういう無茶こけるのも俺の特性らしくてな正味自分でも笑っちまった話なんだが喜べよレン俺様ちょっとした切り札だぜ
Yep. The Joker amongst all the cards, right?
へえそりゃまた
In a clash of hegemony against hegemony, the souls of the conquered territory would flow to the side of the victor, bolstering their strength even further. In truth, that was precisely the kind of power struggle that had already been going on within this space. Yet this was the first time it manifested through such a significant realignment of power. The hegemony of Ren's craving was indeed tremendous, and it was certainly easier to mingle with souls than retain their consciousness like Shiro and the rest. But that alone couldn't possibly have been enough to break the Gold's chains of subjugation. Shiro was right, they had a trump card of sorts.
さすがに覚えたばっかっつうか自覚したばっかでよ名前なんか決めてねえし加減も全くできねえけどま要は
He raised his two pistols, pointing one at Gold and the other at Mercury. He aimed and pulled the trigger.
マジいらねえてめえらみたいな腐れが
The two bullets launched with a deafening explosion, decimating the regions of the two, ravaging them to the core. It truly could not have been possible. Even Ren, whose very soul had now been connected with Shiro's, gasped, gaped in astonishment at that otherworldly feat. It was not like these bullets penetrated the defenses. In truth, as far as raw power was concerned, they could hardly even compare to the godhoods of the two. Nonetheless, they pierced their targets. It was as if the defenses had unraveled by themselves the moment they came in contact. At first glance, the phenomenon might have appeared much like the fists of Deus Ex Machina, yet their true nature couldn't have been more different.
面倒な男がいるものだ好きにはならんがまあ贅沢を言っていられる時でもないこれを最後のよみがえりとして俺は俺としての生を終わりたいそのためならば再びお前とかけよう戦友よ
に入る
The Grand Scroll's decks, until months ago, had displayed a fearsome surge of power, now shattered to a million pieces as another man, no less troublesome and just as dangerous my other friend, came to my side.
ほほ言うねえネクラちゃん俺もお前みたいなのは苦手だしよせいぜい背中に気ぃつけて頑張れや
そうしそれはこちらが言いたいセリフだ
The words they exchanged were anything but amicable, yet mere moments later they plunged into the fray together. Their thinly veiled displeasure aside the two moved in perfect sync, dashing to the opposite ends of the battlefield, extending Ren's dominion.
言っとくがレン流れ弾には気ぃつけろよ
こいつはちょっと敵も味方もクソもねえんだ。それが神とかいうふざけたもんである限り、何であろうとぶっ壊しちまう。いや。
His guns would launch the very causality of self-destruction. All godhoods that came in contact with Shiro's bullets would be instantly driven to suicide, regardless of their defense or state of mind. And their effect was most likely relative to Ren's own powers. Shiro couldn't possibly channel superior destruction to the legion he was a part of.
つまり何事も俺次第っていうわけか。
そういうこと。
Ren's capacity had jumped another threshold as he escaped Mercury's dominion and entered the battle purely as himself. As he cased being a mere puppet, there remained little difference in individual power between the three demigods on the battlefield. However, unlike the other two, he had no other souls under his command, which put him at a severe disadvantage, just barely overturned by the presence of Shiro and his powers. A decree that caused the self-ruination of all godhoods, provided they weren't of a higher rank than Ren's. Thus the difference in the numbers of souls became meaningless. Against it, the thickness of the armor or sharpness of the blade mattered equally little. It nonetheless managed to penetrate glass him and claim its soul for Ren. If misused, however, it could just as easily lead to one's own destruction.
今のお前ならばできるだろう。手綱をしっかりと握っていろ。
After all, Ren would cast away his godhood following this battle.
素晴らしい。
I know, right? The infinite vermilion hell of Padma saw the throne like a storm of flower petals, lightning blaze of undiluted ecstasy in Reinhardt's chest. After all, he encompassed the law of destruction. He would not differentiate between loyal subordinates and defected renegades.
いいぞ、もっと見せてくれ。グラズヘイムの空に走った亀裂すらもが麗しい。案ずるな、私は負けん。切り離されようとも範囲されようとも愛してやろう。未来永劫この至福の中で。
He felicitated the loyalty of his vassals while praising the actions of the rebels all at the same time. Those might have appeared like contradictory thoughts to Hall, but to him they were in no way different. For a battle with a worthy adversary had been to him the sole means of salvation.
カールよ、Kは全ての誓いを果たしてくれた。これほどの戦慄、これほどの充足、かつて味わったことはなく。
そして無論
The same truth applied to him, who acted as the antithesis of gold.
二度と体験することもない。生涯一度。
ゆえ輝いている。
Brilliance so fiercely intense that a single curse could easily decapitate them.
なんたる愚昧か、なんたる甘美か。何故刃に触れる心地とはこれほど胸をしびれさせる。病みつきになる、止められぬ。すべてを忘れ投げ捨ててこの仰せに没頭したくなってしまうぞ、ハイドリヒ。私もまた刹那に見せられたものならば、よりまばゆい閃光を見せてくれよ。
The throne of Mercury trembled. It constituted the law binding the entire cosmos and as such rewrote the world in the fashion of its master. This man, however, possessed a craving tooth far unprecedented amongst all sentient beings. Eternal recurrence. A circle that tied together the beginning and the end. A law that ignored the rules of time, turning ends into beginnings. Ever clinging to life, yet yearning for the embrace of death more than anyone. A being that embodied the very concept of antimony, yet was governed by ironclad logic.
踊れ、あまねく万象、女神を主演とした舞台装置。我が脚本に舞う演者なり。さあ、今宵のグランギニョルを始めよう。
In other words, he had complete control of the movements, the rotations and revolutions of planetary bodies. He would make the stars align to his will, propessing absolute and unbending futures. The universe as a whole obeyed his script, and to be a being who could realign the cosmos will, even a concept like time meant painfully little. By revering the Milky Way, he could make it so that something never even existed to begin with. He weaved his aria like a spell, comprised of alien words from an ancient tongue. Its syllables made the throne of the universe tremble. No one could have known that this was once the decree of Mercury's precursor. Time paradox of elementary particles. It was the very embodiment of a power that could annihilate the contradiction of multiple cosmos occupying a single space. In short, it was a universe-scale suppressor of contradictory phenomena, and as such could exhibit an unrivaled effect against his cancerous apoptosis. However,
どれだといや違うな。
そも誰よりも踊りたがっているのは K であろうに。
The two pillars returned his words with dignity as the very cosmos around them melted like a sugar cube in the summer heat. For it was the serpent who had been the most contradictory of them all. It was he who should have suffered the most from their attack. And thus there was but one reason for him to unveil it.
お前の渇望、その真実は。
ただ己も舞台に上がりたかった。
He had grown weary of it all. He had resigned to his fate. He started his existence from a pit of bottomless despair, wishing only for death to claim him. But that was not good enough. He could not find it in himself to know such a blend. His death had to mark something significant, like the advent of the goddess. He wished to die in her remembrance, up on the stage. He wished to be a jester dancing in the limelight of his play. Even if its conclusion was the most trite and wearisome final imaginable.
違うかな、カール。
The trembling serpent nodded, his lips curling with a smile.
あるいはその通りやもしれん。だったら
K もまた演者たれ。我が愛にかけて後悔はさせん。
The words urging the serpent to accept his own demise rang like a joyous blessing in his ears. Exactly. Love, jubilation, bloodlust. They collided and were swept backwards again. The three pillars had all mastered the final reserves of their power. The next clash would most likely prove to be their last. Each of them knew this well, yet their expressions, even amidst that raging torrent of divinity, remained utterly tranquil.
心がしよっか。やれやれ。いついかなる時も充実した刹那というものはすぐに過ぎ去る。それは私でさえどうにもできん。マルグリットに出会ったあの日も時が止まればよいと思ったよ。
ならばこそその願いここに結実させたのだろう。 K はもっと純な男かと思っていたがどうしてなかなか祈りが定型を帯びぬたちのようだな。まったくもってあれこれと一つの渇望からよくもそれだけ多彩な枝が生まれるものよ。
悪いかね。
Reinhardt shook his head. He was not one to deny others, and certainly not his sworn friend.
いや、それもまた K らしい。輪郭は常に曖昧。故に壊れがたくすり減らない。伊達に長命ではないわけだ。
はあ、気の遠くなるほど歩いてきた。その果てのこれが果たして私の望んだ終わりへ至るかわからぬが、断言できることはただ一つ。私が果てればお前たちもまた色を失う。今のままでは存在できん。なあ、最後に聞こう。 それで構わぬと本当に思っているのか？無論言ったところでお前にはわからないだろう。
Anger, resignation, and a tinge of sorrow lingered in the young man's tone. The serpent, the master of the throne, was the only pure blood of the three, as he possessed no human self to speak of. Retaining it through the loss of his god couldn't have been a concept more alien to him.
俺は神様になんかなれない。そんな器じゃないし、こんな力はいらない。恵んでもらった力振るって、それにすがってなきゃ生きていけない情けない男にはなりたくなんかないんだよ。
It was something that a transcendent pure blood could never understand. The serpent himself had long since forgotten the beginning of his eternal troubles through recurrence. Ren understood that words would do little to help, yet he couldn't help saying it. For the sake of everything that led him here, to this present moment as well as the future he would build.
たとえその果てに自分が自分で亡くなっても、それは死じゃない。負けじゃないんだ。
やはり K にはわからない。
After a moment of silence that felt like an eternity, the serpent shook his head.
信玄として胸に刻もう。彼女はお前のそういうところを愛したのだろうし。
The goddess was yet another pure blood. Her circumstances might have been different, but he felt nothing but respect and love for the one woman he bent his knee to. As such, the philosophy of the man she loved must have been just as genuine. Even as he acknowledged that fact, he still felt a hint of irony fill his heart. Why did he think that the young man would be worthy of the goddess' love? Where did his convictions stem from? As the hapless prisoner of eternally unfruitful love, how could he possibly know? Had she found the man not to her liking and cast like him aside, their play would have dispersed into nothingness like bubbles in the sea foam. Falling apart like the laughable farce it was. It was true that the soul he had used for the boy's core was fit to command the instruments of execution. But what of it? That could not have been all. Why did he feel such an unwavering conviction that everything would work out? He infused the boy with his blood to guide him to the degree of Atziluch, but could it be that B hoped it would help him in his quest for love? The very thought of it felt comical enough to make him laugh. It seemed almost as if he genuinely thought himself worthy of the goddess.
アイドリヒ、お前はどうだ？
If he ever felt an emotion akin to bashfulness, it was now. As such, he tried to dispel the fault by changing the subject to his friend. Did his sworn friend wish to escape his shadow as well?
私はさっきも言った通り、ケイトの名役に準じるのみ。
Reinhardt answered with the ever-taintless pride and conviction of the Golden Monarch.
真実の私、かつての私。なるほど。彼の言う通りに、そうしたものを追う気持ちはある。だがそれよりも鮮烈なのは、我が魂が求める黄金律。土台戦争。私のみでは成立せぬからここまで来たのだ。ならば引かぬよ。果てまで見せろ。このラインハルト・ハイドリヒの友であるなら。
His real self was of secondary importance, for his entire soul focused only on the singular urge that currently drove him.
めでるためにまずは壊す。ゆえか。刑を壊さずにはおれんというだけ。
A decision perhaps influenced by his role as the apoptosis. Yet the beast's words carried the majestic radiance of a man none would dare to call a puppet.
端的には友情だよ。付き合ってやろうというのだ。そも誘ったのは K であろう。今さら私をしらけさせる。
Could be that Gold had long since escaped the serpent spell? That was indeed possible, or rather the serpent himself wished it to be so, as a turmoil of emotions waged war within his entire being. For if it were so, theirs would have been a friendship left untainted. A relationship not between apoptosis and host, but two men sharing a bond. The resolve of the ephemeral moment, the love of the goddess. He had no choice but to reaffirm the value of these sparks that refused to remain shackled by his law.
そう
He condensed the remaining stars of the foreknown world.
ではこれを最後に歌劇を締めよう。輝ける新世界の到来を願って。
In the climax of the battle, the goddess pondered.
ねえ、カリオストロ。先ほどあなたが感じた思いは必ずしも気のせいじゃない。麺に自分の血を混ぜることで私を変えられると信じたこと。
She craved to touch and embrace people. It was the one who would change her head to belong to the same race. But far being the embodiment of blade of execution could not touch an immortal.
面倒な女でごめんね。
He was forced to find a soul that, despite attaining godhood through the infusion of the serpent blood, would cast the throne of the universe aside, striving to remain human against all odds. Like Ren, who would stress that his craving was not worthy of dominion, despite unleashing his Atsuruch.
そんな奇跡のような魂は他にあなたくらいしかいないから。
For a pure blood like a serpent, losing his godhood meant nothing but death. Yet that was precisely what he had been wishing for. He had not even realized that he possessed such a rare and miraculous soul. And through that he would take his true self. He might have been aiming for a different direction from Ren, yet the two were ultimately very much alike.
だから全てを仕組んだんでしょ。
Her words of gratitude carried a hint of expression mixed with indignation. The serpent would do well not to get the wrong idea. She was still very much angry with him, and in the end it was Ren, not him, who changed her. Although she did feel somewhat like a mother trying to lecture this disobedient child, no matter what she did, he would find pleasure in it.
その願い叶えたい。絶対叶えてみせる。あなたの友達も全部終わった後なら聞く耳持ってくれるかな。
And with that the opera entered its final phase. Its name. Acta est fabula, the end of the play. Also sprach Zarathustra, the tale of the new world. The hegemony of the goddess emanated to the cosmos, equally enveloping the three grand pillars of the divine mind. Her compassionate prayer like soothing blanket across all creation. Eagle, bull, and a lion.
Amantes, amentes, omnia, vincito, amor.
Not all forms of affection manifested as pure and innocent. But that was why Marguerite Broyle believed them to be worth treasuring. As flickers of light illuminating the whole of the cosmos. She would embrace every craving, without question, without hesitation. As the manifestation of a law only she could enact. Wait, did I skip something by mistake? No, okay. In the end, Mari embraced all three participants of the final battle. Each of them harbored their very own form of love. For some of the reserves were ones of utter and full of madness, they were not less champions without question, able to conquer the very universe bending it to their will. And while I was faced with the complete erasure of my existence.
覚悟はしていたことだけど、やっぱり気持ちのいいものじゃないよな。
Sure, I was both scared and unnerved. I mean, I was your average run-of-the-mill guy, so I didn't exactly possess the steel nerves to remain calm in a situation like this, nor did I wish to. I had no regrets. If I began doubting myself, I probably wouldn't have pulled through that final battle to begin with. All I felt now was gratitude, and I wished to put it into words.
ありがとう、シロ、ミハイル。そして他の奴らも。ここでひとまずお別れだ。いずれまた、新世界で会おう。
I believed in such a future. If it could be called so in this space beyond time, a world in the goddess empress awaited us. There was nothing to worry about.
あり。
Thank you, and goodbye. I will continue living as a man, living my memories with her in this place. Hopefully she will watch over us in our next lives.
君の波動に恥じないよう、必ず幸せになってみせると約束するよ。
And as I uttered those words, I thought I caught a glimpse of something. Perhaps my own future? It hardly warranted much surprise. So many reality existed in that age. It would take quite a while for us to have our reunion, but I was not complaining. This was the true catharsis of my being. I would reclaim the life I was once robbed of and make it count this time. That would be the only way to meet her on the common ground. Until then, I'm looking forward to the test of hers. I wasn't sure if she could hear my voice, but as a gesture of my apology, I decided to tell her something that she would no doubt be very curious about.
どっちが強いの、勝ったの、負けたの。そんなことばっかり気にして男の子ってバカみたい。よくそう言ってたけどさ。実は先輩も、そういうの気になる口だろ。四郎の時も聞いてきたもんな。
I remember it well. She was, after all, quite the volatile type, so she couldn't help obsessing over victories and defeats herself. She probably told me that thing earlier partly as a mantra to contain herself. But in the end, curiosity was not something we mortals could find.
俺とラインハルトとメルクリウスのぶっちゃけ誰が一番強くて勝ったのかって言われれば。
My answer remained the same. A clear and straightforward declaration I considered the one and only truth of the universe.
俺に決まってんでしょ。主人公っすよ。
And the time had come for me to receive the ending I wished for. I made a smile beaming with pride. One belonging to the victor.
ま、よければ連中の負け惜しみでも聞いてやってくださいよ。
I could finally return to my true self.